Joe Biden's radical extreme socialist agenda is taking yet another step to the left. As the weak, the frail, the ever-struggling cognitively, Joe Biden ordered a commission to study the effects of judicial reform. For now, first and foremost, you got to remember, he wants to distract all of us from the disaster at the border. But this is important. Translation. Biden, his team, far-left socialist Democrats, they want to pack the court. They want to stack it with radical far-left activists. They want to overhaul one of the most sacred institutions in our country and turn it into yet another arm of the Democratic Party and more power for them. That is the only way they will actually be able to implement what is their destructive, economy-killing socialist agenda and maintain power. Now, under Biden's order, a 36-member commission will have 180 days to hold hearings, evaluate various court reform measures in what is just the latest example of Biden surrendering to the far-left fringe socialist friends, the D.C. sewer swamp on steroids and human growth hormone. Now, we told you all of this was coming. This should not be a surprise, but now they're hoping to make this a reality. Court packing is nothing but a corrupt scheme whereby a president increases the number of justices, giving him an opportunity to nominate endless judges that would rule in his favor and likely support his radical socialist agenda. It would be the biggest and most destabilizing power grab in 150 years in this country if actually implemented. The Supreme Court would no longer function as a co-equal branch of government. It would no longer be the check and the balance of the executive branch and legislative branch. It would simply serve as an extension of this new extreme Democratic Party. But remember, Biden didn't always support the idea of court packing. Thank goodness for videotape. Now, you can listen to Biden all the way back in 1983, calling it a boneheaded idea. By the way, Joe, if you're still awake, likely not. It still is. Take a look.
President Roosevelt clearly had the right to send to the United States Senate and the United States Congress a proposal to pack the court. It was totally within his right to do that. He violated no law. He was legalistically absolutely correct, but it was a It was a terrible, terrible mistake to make, and it put in question for an entire decade the independence of the most significant body, including the Congress, in my view, the most significant body in this country, the Supreme Court of the United States of America.
Now, we all know once Biden decided to run for president, decades later, decided to be totally controlled by the extreme left, if he really even knows. Now everything's changed. Now here he is on fake news 60 Minutes. By the way, more corrupt than ever after last weekend with Governor Ron DeSantis. But here's Biden saying that the courts were, quote, getting out of whack. Joe, do you even remember? Do you know what day it is? Take a look.
If elected, what I will do is I'll put together a national commission bipartisan commission of scholars, constitutional scholars, Democrats, Republicans, liberal, conservative. And I will ask them to, over 180 days, come back to me with recommendations as to how to reform the court system, because it's getting out of whack, the way in which it's being handled. And it's not about court packing. There's a number of other things that our constitutional scholars have debated, and I'd look to see what recommendations that commission might make.
So you're telling us you're going to study this issue about whether to pack the court?
No, whether there's a number of alternatives that go well beyond packing.
So Biden and the candidate campaign protection program, right? The media mob protected him the whole time, didn't ask him tough questions. Remember, Biden refused to directly answer if he supported court packing. We knew better. Tonight, just like we've been telling you, the answer is a resounding yes, because Democrats are always looking for ways to get power, rule this country, and they want power in perpetuity. They don't like checks and balances. They don't value our Constitution, our constitutional republic. They don't value equal justice. They certainly don't really give a damn about any of your rights. And don't forget about Biden. He put out all of these far-left promises. Remember, he wrote them down, the Biden, the Bernie manifesto. They released that last summer. We were one of the few programs in the country to actually cover it and tell you what was in it. Everything Biden is doing, open borders, amnesty, yes, let's kill off the entire energy sector, his policies of being energy dependent, tax hikes, far left lawlessness. It was all in writing for everyone to see. The Biden-Bernie Unity Task Force recommendations. And on next week's docket, by the way, it doesn't end. D.C. statehood and reparations. We will be debating all of that. But let's look at Biden's new budget proposal, packed with an increase in federal spending, packed with far-left climate measures that in reality will do little to nothing to improve the environment. But it will increase government control over every single aspect of your day-to-day life. And I'm telling you, when these far-left radical socialists tell you what they're plotting and planning and scheming, you need to believe them. We're seeing it all play out day after day. I can tell you right now, the midterm election in 2022 is more important than any other election in our lifetime, and 2024 after that. The COVID relief bill, they lied to you. It wasn't about COVID emergency relief. No, that was about bailing out blue states that mismanaged their money. This infrastructure bill, it's about everything other than infrastructure. H.R. 1, S.R. 1, voting overhauls, no voter ID, no signature verification. That will surrender total control of our elections to Democrats and the federal government. By the way, D.C., Puerto Rico statehood, Democrats see that as 4 new Democratic senators in